Hi, I am Michael from Jamaica, and in my head, I have the stock recommendations for your financial independence, man. With BVT Technologies, we have once again picked out a very special penny stock for you. BVT is another company from the sustainable agriculture sector. After our last video was about Earth Renew, BVT convinces with a spectacular product that is also a really exciting share. Finally, as always, we look at the chart for technically reasonable entry possibilities. If this topic interests you, then stay tuned. After the risk disclaimer, we continue. BVT Technologies, abbreviated BVT, is a Canadian company based in Ontario. You can read the corresponding trading symbols above me. Hey, who is BVT? BVT is an emerging company in the agricultural technology with 65 patents granted and 35 patents pending worldwide. The company is well equipped to compete in the $240 billion market for crop protection and fertilizers. The key word for BVT is sustainable agriculture. Well, a word on our behalf, man. Sustainable agriculture is an issue that is particularly close to our hearts at Stockscreener Island. Food production, especially in the industrialized countries, has undergone a dramatic misdevelopment over the last 50 years. No term expresses this social maldevelopment better than the term food industry. One result of this industrialization of agriculture are so-called diseases of affluence such as neurodermatitis and allergies. With our investment, we have the power to correct such misdevelopments, and BVT is a good example that there is another way. So what does BVT do? The company owns an award-winning technology called precision vectoring. Bees distribute tiny amounts of natural pesticides known as biologicals targeted at the blossoms of the fruit. In other words, BVT uses commercially bred bees for effective and ecological pest control. The system offered by BVT is groundbreaking. It is a unique innovation that provides the basis for targeted solutions for ecological disease and pest control in agriculture. The patented BVT key technologies are the BVT dispenser system, the Vectorite brand composition, and the active biological ingredient BVT CR. The bees distribute the so-called Vectorite in the fields. Vectorite is a dilutant that contains the active ingredient BVT CR7. A Vectorite is supplied in Vectorite cartridges. These Vectorite cartridges must be changed every 4th day during the blooming period. As organic control products are expensive, the system offered seems very cost intensive at first glance. But on the other hand, the bees distribute the product so efficiently that the price per hectare can compete with conventional chemical fungicides. On the other hand, biological pest control leads to higher crop yields. For example, blueberry yields are known to be up to 30% higher. Not to mention that the bees' work saves the huge cost of machinery, fuels, and manure. And while the bees distribute the biologicals in the field, people can stay in the field to do other work. This would not be possible with the chemical pesticide spraying. Ian Collison, the sales manager of BVT, says the following: BVT is delivering innovative strategies and solutions that address grower productivity, sustainability goals. CR7 is a key component of an integrated pest management program that helps growers naturally protect crops from damaging disease pressure during the bloom period. This enables them to increase marketability, yield, and improve fruit shelf life while lowering chemical residue. It also allows them to be more competitive in the United States and export markets, since BVT's EPA approval exempts CR7 from residue tolerance testing. Well, so much for the company statement. Currently, BVT's ecological pest control system is used on strawberries, sunflowers, apples, tomatoes, grapes, blueberries, and cranberries. However, as Dr. Sue Willis-Chang of the University of confirms, it can be used on any flowering plant that bees use for pollination. So, what are the risks for an investment? Dr. Willis-Chang warns farmers not to consider bee vectoring as a panacea, as it is only useful for diseases and insects that attack the flower. Bee vectoring does not provide a solution for leaf, stem, or root diseases. I can see producers might develop a system that gives them the best of both worlds, Dr. Willis-Chang says. Under a conventional system, they could apply fungicides and insecticides with a sprayer prior to flowering and then switch to bee vectoring once they start to flower. This eliminates any possibility of getting fungicide or insecticide residue on fruit, because there is no fungicide applied during the flowering and fruit development period. Plus, producers will use much less fungicide overall. It might just hit the sweet spot. Yeah, man. Hey, so much for Dr. Willis-Chang. Another problem is the prolonged period of rain. You see, bees are extremely reluctant to forage in the rain. Furthermore, problems arise from the still early stage of development of BVT's patented products. Government regulations or lack of market acceptance may put an abrupt end to further commercialization of the product. The inability to raise new investment capital for development and marketing can be a major stumbling block for a company with such a low market capitalization. So, with all that said, what are the arguments for an investment? Well, 2021 promises to be a very good business year for bee vectoring. The company is experiencing rapid growth in turnover. BVT already has sales commitments for 2021 that exceed the sales of the entire 2020 financial year. In order to maintain the high growth rate, sales will be expanded to the Midwest, the Pacific Northwest, and the Northeast, as CEO Ashish Malik confirms. What I particularly like as an investor is a management that is not only personally committed to its operational tasks, but also stands behind the company financially. Michael Collison, director of bee vectoring, recently announced the following: to support this new phase of growth and drive shareholder value, BVT management, insiders, and advisors have unanimously agreed to exchange an average of more than 50% of their compensation for equity in the company, so that our team can allocate every possible dollar towards the initiative. This can only be welcome. At the same time, the company is working on obtaining regulatory registrations for the countries of Mexico and Switzerland, as well as for the European Union in 2021. And what I said in the last video on the analysis of Earth Renew is also valid right here. Investors who think beyond 3 years have a unique opportunity to be part of a future success story from the very beginning. And don't forget, should the company develop as forecast, we will have a multiple 100-bagger in our portfolio. Well, let us now look at the chart. The high from January 21st and from February 17th form a double top, which became the temporary upper limit. This resistance continues in the weekly chart. At the moment, this double top is being worked off as a correction. I would call 0.314 or 0.31 an ideal entry point, but an entry point at the current price is okay for long-term investors. Such small stocks as BVT are often very volatile that it doesn't really matter what the decimal point is. At the end of the day, we expect BVT to increase our investment 100-fold over the next few years. Listener, handle such penny stocks very carefully. Buy into the market piece by piece and not all at once. So much for BVT Technologies. Have fun and good luck with your investment. Listener man, if this video has brought you any intellectual added value, please leave a comment. We're also happy to answer any criticisms or suggestions. Subscribe and hit that notification bell to our channel, man, and benefit from our knowledge and experience on the way to your financial independence. Yeah, man.